Hey guys, in this video, going to be going over a strong competitive moveset build that you can teach on your Linoone in the 3rd generation Pokemon games, as well as some other build options and moves that you can go with, whether these moves are learned through leveling up through TM or other means, and where you can access these moves. I'll also be touching on the nature, ability, as well as items that you can potentially go with on your Linoone. So this is a normal type Pokemon. That leaves it immune to Ghost, weak to fighting. Unfortunately, its ability is Pickup, which doesn't have any application in a competitive battling sense. Its stats are pretty mediocre to lower tier across the board. Its speed is its best number at 100, its HP at 78, and then its attack is at 70, defense and special defense each at 61, with its special attack at 50. But we're not going to be working off of the special attack number, so that's not a big deal. And there's a number of different build path options that you could potentially go down. I'll link this article down in the description if you'd like to check them all out for yourself. I'm going to be going over this substitute flail build, as well as going over some different options that you could go with. And I want to start off by discussing a little bit of the strategy behind these different build paths, and then I'll go over where you can pick up these moves in the games. So I think Endure and Flail have a really interesting combination, while also being teamed up with an item such as Salac Berry. So with Endure, it allows Linoone to survive and attack that turn with at least 1 HP, and then when you're all the way down there at 1 HP, of course, the Salac Berry would be consumed. It would boost your speed by 1 stage, and then on your next turn, you'd send out a Flail, and with just 1 HP left, Flail will deal a ton of damage. You also get that same type attack bonus with it being a normal type move. Flail deals more power the less HP that the user has left, and also if you've put a Belly Drum on top of that, then you're really going to be dealing out a considerable amount of damage. So you can go substitute, Belly Drum, Flail, Shadow Ball. However, I think if you go the substitute route instead of Endure, I think in the move 3 option, going with something like a Return or an Extreme Speed might even be a better option than Flail. And also if you went the substitute route, I think that Leftovers could make sense in the item slot over Salac Berry. Personally, I like having the item Leftovers when I'm going with Belly Drum as well as substitute. These are moves that are going to lower your health. So if you have something that's passively increasing your health over the course of the battle, that can be really beneficial. So now, after talking about the strategy elements of the different build paths that you can go down, I want to talk about where you can pick up these moves, whether they're learned through leveling up or through TM or other means. So first, I'm going to go over the Endure Flail combination and where you can find those moves, and then after that, I'll be going over the substitute and then using either Flail, Return, or Extreme Speed in that instance. So Endure is going to be learned through a move tutor in Pokemon Emerald version, and this is picked up at the Battle Frontier move tutor. It's from the right tutor, and you can grab this one for 48 battle points. Belly Drum, pretty straightforward. The user is going to lose 50% of its max HP with Belly Drum, but it maximizes the attack stat, which is really great, allowing Linoone to deal out a ton of damage. And this is going to be learned through leveling up, and Linoone's going to pick that one up at level 53. And then Flail, of course, physical type attack, 100 accuracy. This deals more power the less HP that the user has left. And Flail is actually going to be a pre-evolution move for Linoone, so you'd have to keep Zigzagoon until at least level 33 to learn the Flail move if you went in that direction. In Shadow Ball, a ghost physical type move, 80 power, 100 accuracy, 20% chance to lower the target's special defense by 1. And this can be found over at Mount Pyre, and that's located in this region of the Hoenn map. And it's going to be found on the 6th floor on the southern side, TM30 Shadow Ball. And this is what that room looks like in the Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald games, and it's going to be on the southern side of the 6th floor. That's where you can find the TM30 for Shadow Ball. And like I said, instead of the Endure Flail combination, if you went substitute with either Return or Extreme Speed, those will be the moves I touched on next. So substitute, the user takes 1/4 its max HP to put in a substitute. And substitute can be learned from a move tutor in the Emerald version games at the top of the Lily Cove department store in Lily Cove City. This is where that is located and where you can pick up the move substitute. If you're playing Fire Red, Leaf Green, you can also pick this up from a move tutor in Fuchsia City. Substitute can be taught just once to a Pokemon if you talk to the boy in front of the Kangaskhan's pen in the Fuchsia City Zoo. And this is an egg move that Linoone can also learn through breeding in the 3rd generation games, with the father being the Kecleon in that instance for learning substitute. And I'll link this breeding page down in the video description if you'd like to check it out for yourself. And next I'll go over where you can find Return if you'd like to slot that into the move 3 area instead of Flail. And Return, if you have maximum happiness on your Linoone, it deals a ton of damage actually. It's up to 102 power and it has 100 accuracy. And Return can be found in Pacificlog Town, and this is going to be located in this region of the Hoenn map. And in the southwestern house, this is going to be a gift from the Pokemon Fan Club chairman's brother. If the lead Pokemon friendships in your party is high, And you can get 1 TM per week with this in Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. That's how you pick up TM27 return. You can also get this over in Phalaber Town from Professor Cosmos' house. And in Generation 3, Professor Cosmos will trade TM27 return for a Meteorite. And Extreme Speed is also a really great move, but it is very tricky to get. When we look at Linoone's 3rd generation learn set and all the different moves that it has access to, if we scroll all the way down to the bottom, prior evolution moves, we see that Extreme Speed is located here. And this is a special event exclusive Zigzagoon that has extreme speed, and it's through the Nintendo GameCube game that's called Pokemon Box. And I believe it's if you have 100 Pokemon in the Pokemon Box, then you get gifted a Zigzagoon that has extreme speed. So that can be a bit more difficult to access. That's why I'm going over some other options, such as going with Flail or Return as that physical normal type attack. But extreme speed is really great because it gives you priority, and it has very respectable power at 80, and it's a physical type move with 100 accuracy. So just as a quick recap here, if you're going Endure with Flail, then I think Salicberry makes a lot of sense for being that held item. But for me personally, I like going with the item Leftovers, and since that makes the Endure Flail combination a little less ideal, in that instance, I'd rather be going Substitute with Belly Drum, and then instead of Flail, you can go with Return or Extreme Speed, and then having Shadow Ball in that 4th move slot. And the reason why I like going with Leftovers as opposed to Salicberry is if I'm using something like a Belly Drum, which makes my Linoone lose 50% of its max HP in exchange for maximizing its attack stat, which is going to make the Return or the Extreme Speed or the Shadow Ball or the Flail hit really hard, I'd like to at least be passively having an option to increase my health, which Leftovers would do if that is my held item. And not just decreasing your health from something like a Belly Drum, but also the 1/4 of your max HP to put out a Substitute. Again, it's nice having something out there like a Leftovers to pick up some of that health over the course of the battle when you're using things like a Substitute and a Belly Drum. And in the 3rd gen games, you can pick up Leftovers over on the SS title, and it's going to be in the storage room in one of the waste bins. You can also pick it up with repeatable methods at the Battle Tower for a streak of 35 or more, and that's going to be a random prize in Ruby and Sapphire, or you can pick it up in Emerald for 48 battle points at the Battle Frontier. And then the nature that we have listed here is Adamant, which is going to increase your attack stat, decrease special attack, and we don't mind the special attack being decreased given the fact that none of the moves here are going off of that special attack stat. Another really good option that you could go with would be something like Jolly, which increases your speed, decreases special attack. So Adamant and Jolly being your best options. You could also do something like an Impish, which would increase your defense, decrease your special attack. Or a Careful, which would increase your special defense, reduce your special attack, but those wouldn't be quite as ideal as the Adamant or the Jolly natures. And that's going to round this one out. So I appreciate you guys stopping by. Again, if you'd like to check out this article for yourself, I'll link it down in the description. Consider subscribing to the YouTube channel, and I'll catch you guys back here next time.